is poop able to be fossilized? It's hardened, but what happens to harden it? Okay, if you have it, she's on to something. So have any of you ever been to Arizona or New Mexico? And parts of Kansas too. It is extremely wet or dry in those places. Way dry, way dry. Where we're at, way dry. In fact, we had a 4-year drought. It was just terrible, and the Lord gave us rain this year, so we're praising Him for that. But if poop is outside, and I've got 4 dogs, and the sun beats down on it, and the wind and the heat dries it out, what happens to that poop? Does it get hard, or does it get dusty? It starts to crumble. Can these poop coprolite crumble? No. They are turned to stone. Now, they're not bone, but that is stone, because what is stone made out of? Hardened minerals. Can you say that? Hardened minerals. Okay, don't lose sight of the facts. So how do you get poop that is soft, we'll say soft, right? We could say other things, to turn into a hard stone mineralized fossil? How does that happen? Because you've got organic material that got completely buried with water, with minerals, with pressure, complete burial, so there's no what? No oxygen, no scavengers, no wind. So we have this process that I taught you earlier. For fossilization to take place, let's review. What do you need? Rapid, complete burial, no oxygen, no scavengers. Can you say that with me? Rapid, complete burial, no oxygen, no scavengers. That's how you get fossilization. And it doesn't matter if it's a turtle, a deer, poop, an alligator, an ammonite, a clam. Let me tell you something about clams. Who's been to the beach?
Me.
I love the beach. Lord willing, maybe I get to see the ocean before I go back to Kansas. So I've got a lot of critters here, and I'm going to have Miss Raven or somebody take this around. Some of the things on here, these right here, are clams. Now let me pick a smart friend. You look like a smart friend. Are these clams open or closed?
They're open.
Look again.
Closed. Oh, yeah, if you look at that side.
Friend, are these clams open or closed?
They're closed.
They're closed. Oh, friend, are these open or closed clams?
Closed.
That is an odd thing. I'm going to have Miss Raven take this around. You know why that's an odd thing? She's being very careful. She's being very careful. It's an odd thing because when a clam dies, clam has a muscle. And they open and they close their shell. Open and close their shell. You ever seen that at the beach? Some clams, they're closed. Anybody ever eat a clam in the shell? Oh, it's good with garlic and butter. Delicious. But when you start boiling them, guess what happens? The shell opens up. When they die, guess what happens? The shell opens up. So why are those fossils closed? Something's not right here. If it just died on its own, that muscle relaxes. It's the first thing that happens after death. It takes a little bit, and then boom. Because the muscle's not alive to clamp down. So you find in nature, when a clam dies, its shell is open. Well, these clams, they're not alive, right? These clams are dead, but they're fossilized and they're closed. How does that happen? Put on your thinking caps. Yes.
I'm thinking that after they had died, before they had fully opened, something stopped them.
Bingo. That is precisely what happened. So I'm a clam having a good clam life, and all of a sudden I'm not having a good clam life. But my shell didn't open. Because you know what happened? I'm having a good clam life, rapid burial, no oxygen, no scavengers, and I'm shut. because the pressure I can't open. I'm completely surrounded. And I've got water, and I've got mud slurry, and I've got nutrients, and I've got pressure. No oxygen, no scavengers. That's how you get those clams to fossilize like that. So, scratching my head, Sharon, how often does this happen? Well, could you have a fossil do that today? Given the right circumstances, yes. Because let's stay in our seat. Given the right circumstances, yes. Remember the alligator friend? But how many of you have made a fossil in your yard?
Never. We never made it.
Right. It's going to be very hard because let's say you bury it. Let's say you have water. Let's say you have mud slurry. What's one thing that you didn't stop? Scavengers. You may have stopped the oxygen, but you didn't stop the scavengers. So every single thing has to be there. You can't have 5 out of the 6 or 4 out of the 5. You have to have all of the ingredients for fossilization to occur. So where in the time that the earth has been in existence were all of those factors present, and the environment was just perfect for fossilization. Who is a good reader? Oh, real quick. Yes, can you read this?
The sea was all the mountains of the great sea broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Genesis 7,
11b, because I started in the middle of the verse, yeah. Through, yes. So that's out of Genesis, the first book of the Bible. There's 66 books in the Bible, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New. The first book of the Bible is Genesis. So how many of you heard that Noah's flood or the Great Flood was just 40 days of rain? Rained 40 days and 40 nights. It did rain 40 days and 40 nights. But oh my, I'm going to take you on a journey for just a second. Everybody, face forward and close your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Hold it, and breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Now keep your eyes closed. This is a storm. Oh my goodness, friends. We're going to have a storm. The flood of Noah's day was much more destructive than any 40-day rainstorm ever could even think about being. Scripture says, and the fountains of the great deep broke open, tumultuous, scalding hot water, churning, squeezing out of the earth's crust. Earthquakes, volcanoes, geysers, molten lava, swooshing and swirling, violent, explosive. Surface was really upheaval. The fountains were not stopped until 150 days into the flood. So the earth's surface was literally churning underneath the waters for about 5 months. The duration of the flood was extensive. It included the entire globe. And Noah and his family were aboard the ark for over a year. Now open your eyes. Does that sound like we're having a little rain today? Anybody scared of that rain outside? Anybody want to go run to the ark? You're not too worried about it, are you? But what if the fountains of the deep opened up and it just water covered the entire globe? Could it happen? Yes. Did it happen? Yes. And you know what? You say, where's all that water? Just in the last few months, just in 2025. Magically, there's been a discovery of more water underneath the Earth's surface than they ever dreamed of, and it's bigger than all the oceans put together. Is there room for the water? Is there a water cycle? I don't know if you have droughts here in Ridgefield, Washington. I kind of doubt it. But in Kansas, we were getting real worried that all the people's wells were drying up. The aquifers were drying up. That we lost trees, we lost animals. The fire danger was horrendous. And then the rain came. 3.5 years, we didn't see any rain at all. And it was getting scary. Everybody's on high alert. And I said, where's the water cycle? I trust the Lord. And guess what? The rain came. And we weren't in a drought. We now have life again. We now have moisture again. Our aquifers have refilled. Cheney Lake fills Wichita. Ever heard of Wichita, Kansas? They had no water for thousands and thousands and thousands and 10,000, 100,000 people. No water because they all drew from Cheney Lake. They were over 8 feet deficit. If you're at a huge, huge lake and you're at 8-foot deficit, that is going to take a very, very long time to refill. Between May and last month, July, God topped it more than 8 feet. Because who is in control of the water cycle? God is. Who's in control of the weather? God is. And you know what? If he flooded the whole earth, which he did, he left us plenty of evidence. But you know what? If I'm an investigator and I come into a room and I don't know what's happened, all I have is what? Observation of evidence. And after I observe the evidence, I must what then? If you're solving a mystery, if you're solving a crime, I must then draw what? Some conclusions. Have you drawn any conclusions today? Has there been any new information introduced to you that now you have to rethink some things? Because as that little girl, Sharon, I was told millions and billions of years. I was told the flood was impossible. And then I looked around and I did my investigation and I went, wait a minute. What I've been told is not accurate. And you know what? I was very sad. So I want you to get accurate information. So let's talk about the fossils real quick. This guy right here, for short, we call him Mozzie. Can you say Mozzie? He's a Mosasaurus, okay? This guy right here, this is a real fossil. I actually got this for my husband for his birthday. And believe it or not, they sold this for $29.99 because the price tag's on the back of it. And I was like, I'll take that. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I have a bigger one. He's about this big. This Mosasaurus, I want you to feel, if I have a helper, this is stone. Okay, he is in stone. This is fossilized. But this stone is pretty impressive. Okay, this is a certain kind of stone. He's in a sandstone substrate. What is sandstone? It's stone, but it's not tightly together as some of these other rock formations. Okay, so if you rub that, you could, it's going to take a little bit of pressure. Yes.
So is it sandstone like a stone but it's sand?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So my time is drawn to a close, but I want to talk to you about something. Fossils. I want you to get the facts, and I want you to start examining what you've been taught. We find fossilized, let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this. My fish. This is a real fossil from Wyoming. We find fossils. You can go to Wyoming now for $149. You can dig all day long and keep most of what you find. We find fossils eating each other. We find fossils giving birth. We have mastodons, woolly mammoths, creatures that woolly mammoth would be from here to the back of that room. We're talking about an enormous creature giving birth. And let me tell you this, mind-blowing. Herbivore. What is an herbivore? They eat plants, right? Those mastodons, those mammoths, they have tropical foliage in their mouths. But I'm going to blow you away. I don't have time to go over to that globe. What's at the very top of your globe? The very top north. It's the Arctic Circle. Guess what we find up in the Arctic Circle? These huge creatures, and in some of their mouths, there's tropical foliage. And in their bellies is tropical forest. Is the Arctic Circle hot or cold?
Cool.
If it's so cold, why is there tropical foliage in their tummies undigested?
So I learned about this. It's because the Arctic actually used to be a tropical forest.
My.
Until all the continents moved and then it became cold.
My. Correct. Because I don't have time unless Miss unless Miss Raven changes things. Can't cover it today, but after the flood, there was an ice age. There was an ice age. And it has to do with water temperature, it has to do with vapors, it has to do with volcanic activities, and the horrendous storms that were post-flood. But right now, I can't cover that. So we find fossils that were giving birth. Now, y'all aren't grown women in here, most of you, but I assure you that if you're giving birth, you're busy, okay? You're very busy. And the last thing on your mind is dying in the middle of birth. So guess what? How does that happen? If something was going on that was going to cause the death of that animal giving birth, wouldn't she run? Wouldn't she flee? Wouldn't she get away? The baby is being born, and we're finding these fossilized women, animals, female animals giving birth. How does that happen? She didn't know it was coming. She wasn't expecting to die. And guess what? She's giving birth. She's busy. She's preoccupied. Rapid burial, no oxygen, no scavengers. And she lays there in that substrate with that pressure. And boom, she's fossilized. Let me show you this real quick. This is called a death plate. This is a death plate, and this is a death plate. These are very small. In our church, we have this massive one that we found. Now, I want somebody, you can't be too small. Put both hands out. Put both hands out. Is that light or heavy? Heavy, because it's stone. These minerals weigh a lot. Now, I'm going to have Miss Raven show you these real quick. You just a quick view. There's tons of critters in here. Tons and tons of critters. Well, if you were going to die, would you have a party and invite all your friends? Hey, I'm going to die today. Come on over. Come on over. Let's have a party. Let's have a death party. That doesn't happen. So how do you have these death plates? My death plate is this big. Death plates can be bigger than the city of Ridgefield, okay? Or huge, way bigger than this church. So what would cause all these different critters? Sometimes they're the same kind. Often it's multi-species death plates or death sites. What would cause that? There has to be, I'm going to teach you a word, catastrophe. Catastrophe. There has to be a catastrophic event, unexpected, out of the blue, all of a sudden, everybody's going about their business, having a good clam life or whatever life, and then boom, rapid burial, complete coverage, no oxygen, no scavengers. And they died together. And that's exactly what we find as evidence of Noah's flood. Now, as my time is drawing to an end, I'm going to look here. Oh, real quick before I go. This right here is beautiful. It's the same as this. It's the same as this. We're going to let y'all come and look at this. These are all what? What it is. Yeah, I was like, what could I? This is all fossilized wood or petrified wood. What's the difference between petrification and fossilization? It has to do with same principle. You're taking the material that's present, the organic material, and you're replacing it with minerals. Some of this is beautiful, but listen. You hear that? Does that sound like wood to you? Because the wood has now become what? Stone. Yes, it's been mineralized. So when you get a chance, you come up here. This is fossilized wood. This is, look at this beauty. Well, I can't move him real quick. Yeah. Look at this guy. This side not polished, petrified wood. This side polished. There is the most beautiful petrified wood you've ever seen in your life. It comes in every color imaginable. Red, green, blue. Has anybody ever seen any blue fossilized wood? It is breathtaking. So when you get a break, you can come up here and we'll maybe have some time at the end and we could talk to you about some of this stuff. But the most important thing is observation of the evidence. And after you observe the evidence, you must draw conclusions. Boys and girls, men and women, friends, don't let liars draw conclusions for you. You want truthful conclusions. And God will speak to your heart and He will show you the truth. Does science, by the way, is a word in the Bible. You know what the word science? That's God's word. And sadly, some wickedness has hijacked His own word. The word science means one thing: knowledge. Translated, the word science means knowledge. God wants you to know. He doesn't want you to guess. He doesn't want you to be worried or confused. And you know what? That's available to you today. Now, thank you for your time.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, please. 1, 2, eyes on me.